that WWE might have just made a massive mistake by acquiring Lucha company AAA. So let's just get into this. This is some insane news. But before anything else, I need to remind you guys, please, once again, like the Wrestle Digest team stole my dog. If this is not at above 50%, eventually, I'm going to get my dog back. And I kind of like him. I don't have any other friends. All I do is watch wrestling. But let's get into it, alright? So, as we all know, WWE recently acquired AAA, the Lucha Worldwide company, and they have given breed to some of the greatest luchadors that aren't named Rey Mysterio and obviously El Grande Americano, okay? So, one of their biggest names is El Hijo del Vikingo, okay? If you guys have ever seen AEW, you might have seen the crazy thing he did where he went off the top rope and did a front moonsault. Like he did like a 540 through a chair. That was right there. Insane move. It went crazy all over the internet. Bonkers. All right. And he is one of their biggest stars. And AAA is gonna be a good company with the WWE, but more specifically because they are literally doing a joint pay-per-view PLE already with NXT, which I think will be good, kind of as a little testing. Like, hey, how do you work with our developmentals? And then we'll see if we can bring on, hey, we'll throw people into the fray. I think it'll work pretty well. Also, I'm still convinced that WWE has secretly already bought TNA, and that just hasn't been announced yet, but I think a TNA, NXT, and AAA thing could be a crazy Worlds Collide thing. But, whatever. This is obviously a big move, but there's some news circulating today that I think we need to discuss. And that is this. People saying that Alberto Del Rio has signed with the WWE. This is kind of false. Okay, to preface, I am quite literally, I am in law school, so I understand how contracts work. And Alberto Del Rio did not sign with the WWE. What happens is, Alberto, he is quite literally the top dog in AAA right now. And he has a contract with them. But now, because WWE owns AAA, they are inheriting his contract. So that's what's happening. And this has a couple different layers to it. One, yes, Alberto Rio is quite literally a former WWE champion, a Royal Rumble winner. He was Edge's last match before his first retirement. But also, the thing is, Alberto has a lot of baggage now. And by baggage, I mean legal baggage. He has a lot of stuff going on that's following him right now. Stuff that can be quite tricky to manage with everything going on right now. Let's talk about this and let's discuss this. But I want to preface right now, I do not think... First, let's just talk about inheriting contracts, all right? So he has not signed with them. They inherited his contract. Basically, it's like he was already working there, and now he's working for the WWE technically, because now AAA as like the parent company is not really the owners anymore. So that's what's happening. He did not sign with them. They're really just inheriting his contract. And my guess is, because I believe right now he is a champion right now, so I do believe that they're simply going to get the title off of him, because they don't want to just strip him of the title, because that wouldn't work for the people who actually watch AAA. So I think they're going to have him lose the title eventually, and then they're just not going to renew his contract. That's what I think is going to happen. But let's talk about why people are not happy that Alberto Rio is possibly could show up back in the WWE. So I want to talk about a couple of his legal issues. One was his initial 2014 WWE exit, the same time that CM Punk left. Del Rio was released in 2014 after slapping a WWE employee backstage. And I have to preface, I don't mess with, and I don't like, and I don't respect Vince McMahon. But Vince had a rule. You don't touch the cameraman, you don't touch the employees, you can, and you don't mess with the fans. Those are his 3 rules. And Del Rio clearly violated one of the main rules. He attacked an actual employee. The incident started when a social media staffer made a racist joke, which is never good to do, but also violence is not good to do, Del Rio. And they fired him for unprofessional conduct, and people, at the initial time, people were very, split on why he got fired. Some people defended him, some people saying, hey, you shouldn't have fired him. But that was 11 years ago now. He's gone, he's fired, bye-bye. And I'll be honest, I didn't care that much. This is when I was falling out of wrestling, as we all do in our elementary, junior high phase. And I didn't care for him. I didn't like him that much. I don't think he should have won the Royal Rumble. I think it should have been Santino Marella, to be honest. But whatever. Next, he had issues with Paige, otherwise known as Saraya, from AEW. Del Rio was engaged to Paige, and it wasn't a hidden relationship. They were together for a while, and I wanted to be known, he was much older than her, and there was a lot of public arguments happening, and the police were investigating stuff. There's elite recordings, and allegedly, he committed some domestic assault there, allegedly, but no one normally pursued charges, but it was a big part of why he was not respected anymore in the industry, because he was allegedly an abuser. There's a lot of stuff happening there. We can't get into this because it's not, nothing's official right now, because nothing's been in the court records. But then in 2020, this is where stuff actually went to court. 2020, he was arrested and charged with aggravated kidnapping and SA in Texas, which both of these are big no-nos. The allegations were very serious, and the victim literally said that Del Rio tied her up, assaulted, and threatened more acts of violence on her. And somehow in 2021, all these charges were dropped. And it was a lot of stuff going on. I don't want to say what I think it is, but I think we can assume why the charges were dropped. But there's no conviction, but seeing all this stuff happen and everything that originally happened with the Paige stuff, you can assume, not only assume, but the fans already had their mind made up about who Del Rio was as a person. And there's a lot of stuff there too, and it was just not a good moment. Then 2025, literally this year, a few months ago, at a AAA show, got an altercation with a fan in Tijuana, and he was suspended for 6 months by the commission. And I guess it's been 6 months, because I think on X or Twitter I saw a video of him walk out a little while ago. I couldn't confirm when that was, but that's that. It's kind of concerning that there's a chance. I don't think here's the thing. I do not think we're going to see Del Rio back in the WWE. I just don't think that's going to happen. I think Triple H is just too in tune with the fans' he knows, he's obviously into her. He has a burner. And he knows that we do not want to see this man in the company. So I do not think they're going to bring him back. I think they're just going to simply let him drop his title and then say deuces, ooses, and then skedaddle. But that's really all we have right now in terms of Alberto Del Rio. But now let's have some fun, okay? Because I think El Hijo de Vikingo and the Lucha Bros would have a crazy match. A triple threat, maybe? They're reportedly doing a Mexico show soon. I would pay everything I have in my bank account, which is currently 65 cents in my savings, for this match. I need this in my veins because Penta. No, just not in that. Give me every luchador in like a Hell in the Cell. Give me like El Hijo del Vikingo versus the Lucha Bros. Give me Penta, Rey Fenix. Give me Rey Mysterio. Give me Dragon Lee. Give me Axiom. Give me El Grande Americano. And let him win the whole thing. The possibilities are endless here. But right now, the only thing that does make me kind of sad though is that because we're doing Worlds Collide and that's an NXT thing, we're not going to be getting El Hijo del Vikingo against someone like Axiom because Axiom is now part of the main roster, and I don't think they're sending him back down for a one-off match with Vikingo, which does inherently suck. But it is what it is. I think we can get some crazy good matches, though. I'm very excited to see what this brings, because this would be very big for the World Lucha, because CMML is already connected with AEW. So now we're going to be having AAA with the WWE. And I think the possibilities here are genuinely limitless. Now, there is another issue of, I don't remember her name, but there is a AAA wrestler, luchadora, who is currently subject to a restraining order by Stephanie Vaquer, apparently. From everything I've seen on Twitter and online, from the research I've done, there is a restraining order against one wrestler with Stephanie Vaquer, which people are saying could be a dream match, but I think it's not going to happen, so don't even worry about that, but thought I'd bring that up. But whatever. So in submission, AAA is now WWE's. They're going to have a whole NXT thing. And once again, he did not have his contract signed with the WWE. Instead, he had it inherited by the WWE. He inherited the contract. Their contract was, they inherited his. So he's not signed with them. He didn't sign with them. But he's with them right now, inherited-wise. And we don't know what's happening yet. But that's all we know for now. This is Wrestle Digest. I'll talk to you guys later this week with stuff about SmackDown and with Raw and NXT. We'll see you guys for SmackDown. Until then, peace!